Good shot. Good shot. Good shot. Here we go, S Money.
Oh, hello. Tell me sorry.
Sam Bodwin, S Money, Saber Chief in the engineering flight, but you're CE first baseman.
I'm Staff Sergeant Jarls, and I play shortstop for the base CE team, and I work over in the structure shop.
Derek Yoder, I played third base, and I'm part of the Special Projects Unit in 5th Civil Engineering Squadron.
I'm Jake Turner. I played second base most of the season and through the tournament, and I work in Special Projects Unit and 5th Civil Engineering Squadron.
Hey, Tyler Rodriguez, utility, catcher, whatever they need me to play, project programmer in the squadron, pretty much jack of all trades here as a LT, probably one of the better LTs around here.
Trev Albright, I played pitcher and batted towards the bottom of the order usually because our coach didn't like me very much.
My name's Gabe Hinding, and I played either second base or catcher, but primarily beer drinker on the bench.
All right, Jonathan Grulon. I'm the Readiness and Emergency Management Flight Commander, and I was a flex player, played wherever they needed me.
All right, I'm Michael Hosfield, center fielder in the squadron. I am a UD team member. I take care of equipment here at the UD shop.
A1C Ashton Roberts. I'm in the engineering flight. I'm an engineering apprentice. I was the assistant coach, and I played outfield.
All right, my name is Harley Hutchins. I'm an A1C. On the field, I usually played in the outfield, batted a lot, was a #1 fan, cheer section. I'm from customer service.
Brody Hicks, I think everybody knows that by now. Probably the household name around here. I was the head coach and general manager of your 5th Civil Engineer softball team, and I'm the OIC of project execution.
My favorite moment was whenever we showed up to several games during the season, another team didn't show up. So instead of just going home, we all just sat around and had a few beers with each other and just hung out.
So my favorite moment was when the umpire kept calling infield flags and they were all wrong. And a lot of the team members got really heated on it and got the game really intense. And we all brought it together as a team at the end of the day.
My favorite play of the regular season would have been our last out in the first game of the year against MXS. I was playing third that game for whatever reason, and I had to climb the ladder about 4 feet in order to sky and grab a ball that was overthrown to me at third base and kind of swing and apply a windmill tag to someone sliding into third base to get the game winner when we were only up by a run.
See, the favorite moment of the regular season is kind of an improper question. I had 24. Our first victory, second, third, fourth, all the way through 24. My favorite moment of the regular season was winning that last game because we went undefeated for the whole season.
Favorite moment of the regular season? When our coach Brody Hicks took the reins, talked to FSS, and got them to quit having people forfeit on us. We wanted to play ball. Brody got us to play ball.
My very favorite moment of the season was towards the end. We were playing MXS, and we had a couple terrible calls, which is not unheard of. And our whole bench was just, getting at the umpire, and he was coming back at us, and he just had no clue what he was talking about. And this was the best line that he said, "No, it didn't."
Easy. Beating maintenance for the 7th time, that's no-brainer, obvious.
My favorite moment of the regular season was having a couple beers before the game with the team and then going out and kicking everybody's butt.
Just hitting my first dinger, watching that sucker soar over the fence.
My favorite moment of the regular season is any time Lieutenant Grulon hit a home run, because that man, every time he swung, he gave it everything he got, grunted so hard. You could tell he was just putting everything into the ball, and he wanted it to go out every single time. He got a few of them throughout the year too, so that's good.
My favorite moment of the regular season was the first game that I went to. I missed the first couple because I was still at tech school, and then at the very first game that I was able to go to, it was clear that everyone was having a blast and that the team was really vibing with one another, even though it was the very beginning of the season. And I just realized that we were going to have a ton of fun in the coming games, so that was my highlight.
The head coach was great.
He was a little inexperienced at first, but we helped him along through the season, and the whole thing turned out great.
Coming into the season, didn't feel very optimistic about the head coach, but we had a pretty good assistant coach, so thoughts were well.
Head coach, probably the Bobby Knight of intramural softball. That's probably the best way I can summarize it.
Overall, I was kidding a little bit. He did a good job. A lot of personalities to deal with, and he wasn't exactly one of our elite players, so he handled that very well.
There was a game like halfway through the season, and it was really close, one of our only close games in the season. And I had been playing all game and realized that in the last inning I was going to be up to bat, either first or second. And we had a player on the bench that we could have subbed in for me who was probably a better hitter. And I looked at the head coach and I said, "Sir, should we sub me out so that so-and-so can bat instead?" And he looked back at me and said, "What are you talking about?" And then I got a hit. So honestly, motivated by the coach, wish he could have been there for the win. Yeah.
Inspirational, 100%. The reason we did so well.
So, I feel like the relationship between head coach and players, one word that is important is trust. And in our head coach, I had the most trust out of any other head coach I've ever had playing intramural softball. So, I'll just put that out there, that a lot of trust in that guy, that he would put the right players out in the right position at the right time, make the right choices right there.
Our head coach was awesome. He always kept the morale up, you know. He could have been a little better on the field. Just kidding. But yeah, he was really, really good.
I feel like the head coach was pretty good when he was actually there. He was there for most of the time, but the championship game, he had some personal stuff he wanted to take care of, so he couldn't be with the team, but that's okay. We all have things we got to take care of.
I thought Coach Hicks was one of the best coaches I've ever had before. He always brought energy to our games. He was always enthusiastic. He just enjoyed being there, and he was fun to play for.
Head coach kind of reminded me somewhat of like the Cubs, World Series head coach a little bit. We had to kind of work on our camaraderie and our gelling and meshing as a team early in the season, but when we came together, it's definitely because of the coaching staff, 100%.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely lying if I said I knew anything about softball coming into this season. I played one softball season before, and we made it to the semis, and I was just looking to take that a little bit further this year. And when you have a team like this, you don't have to know the rules.
But every story cannot be happy. The 5th Civil Engineer Squadron played the 5th Maintenance Squadron in the second round of the playoffs, and were dealt a punishing blow.
So when we got that first loss, it was really defeating. It hurt a lot because we did so strong throughout the season, and we came in strong, but we just didn't pull it off. I couldn't believe it, but I had to just keep telling myself, even a blind bird gets a worm every once in a while, and I knew we had to fight hard to pull it out at the end, which we did, so I'm very proud of our team for that. I think it just fueled our fire.
All right, so after our first loss, obviously disappointed, and myself, we didn't play the best, we didn't hit the best, we just didn't play our own game that day. We were playing down to a team that we'd beat multiple times. So yeah, disappointed is one word.
I wasn't too fazed whenever we lost for the first time against MXS. We had beaten them like 7 or 8 times during the regular season, so it really was no big deal. I knew we were going to come back and beat them twice in the championship.
So I was actually on the road picking up someone from the airport during the first loss, and I got a text, and it was crushing, but I knew that we had it in us to come back, and it would add to the eventual 30 for 30 that was made.
I guess I was a little upset because it would have been kind of nice to have an undefeated year, but I knew that they couldn't beat us 2 more times, so I had confidence we could come back.
Everyone has a loss. That's the only way that you can learn to grow. So I wasn't shaken by it. Also because I barely got here, so I was just trying to figure out what was going on. So other than that, I knew we would coast into the championship. That was easy.
Honestly, we kind of went into the tournament a little cocky, a little arrogant. So the loss probably did us more. It was probably better for us than it really hurt us, because it motivated us to go out and really play our best. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about that.
Yeah, so We did lose to maintenance, and I told the team, you know, it's hard to beat a team once, real hard to do it twice, but apparently 8 times is where they draw the line. You can't beat a team 8 times in a season.
My initial thought of losing the first game was kind of sad at first, but tried to keep my head up and motivated because there were still quite a few games left to go to win the whole tournament.
Going through my mind, there was a lot of course, downside to our first loss of the season and it being in the playoffs. But I know this team, I know that we could bounce back, and we didn't let that stop us from going out and winning the championship. Just everybody stayed positive. Head coach kept everybody going, and the whole team really just rallied together to bring it home to CE.
They were a good team. We played them 6-7 times regular season, a couple close games. They had to have one on us. We wanted a good story. We wanted to get 30 for 30.
It sucked. I mean, it just felt like we were just beaten down, but I felt bad for the team coming after them because we were coming after them hard. We really wanted to come back.
When FSS handed us the trophy, it finally hit me that we'd actually won the championship. It took a lot of hard work from everybody on the team, and no, we hadn't won the Intramural softball championship since 2011. So 7 years. I've been here for almost 3.5 of that, and I was glad I could help bring it home to CE before our PCS.
So after that championship game, it was a cold one. It was very, very hard, like down to the last inning it took to pull that off. It was a range of emotions. I was sad because the season was over, but at the same time we did something that nobody else has done in CE. So that was very exciting. At the end of that game, me and Colonel Altman, more cowbell. That's what got us through that. It's definitely more cowbell.
I was pretty pumped after we won. We had won at least 4 or 5 games that day, so I was pretty tired, but I was real excited, but I was a little bummed we didn't dogpile.
I would like to say it was relieving to get our revenge on maintenance. You know, if you were there, you know the emotions were extremely high. We had brought out the cowbell earlier that day, and I think the cowbell is what really drove us to win throughout the day. You know, we didn't start out very strong, but as soon as the cowbell got there, we played excellent for the rest of the day. And I think after that victory, it was just very nice. You know, we finally won, completed our season. It was a very nice wrap up.
I was just really happy that we kept level heads during what could have been a brawl at the mound. I was glad that Trev didn't get hit in the face, and I was really stoked that all of the time that we put in throughout the season ended up in a win, and I know that we were all really happy to have that trophy. So it was a blast.
I was like, damn, about time. We're the best there is. Wake up in the morning and piss excellence, so I knew we were gonna win.
I wasn't even here for the championship game, but I knew that my assistant coach, Airman Ashton Roberts, was more than capable after learning under this wing right here to guide them. I was elated.
After winning the championship, we were exhausted first of all because we just played 4 games, so we were pretty much just rolling on pure adrenaline. But it was a good feeling to bring the title to CE. You know, just another win for CE Squadron after all the summer games and the Commanders Cup. So I mean, it's just one more trophy to put in the cabinet.
It was nice to do and nice to win, I guess. 2 years ago when I started playing on the team, the 2 coaches, Scotty and the sergeant that were in charge, were really gung-ho about trying to win the league championship. So that was kind of nice, but it was kind of a little bit of a letdown because of what a gong show the championship night turned into be. So that's about it.
I was super excited about winning the last game. We played 4 straight games to get there, and we had to beat that team twice, so it was just a really good feeling.
Well, I personally got the last out. I was ecstatic. I ran faster than I ever had, threw my glove in the air. I was done. It was a hard-fought battle. 4 hours of softball, 4 or 5 hours softball in the dark, emotions, fights. I was ready to win.
Unreal. That's the only way to describe it, is unreal. Beating maintenance, taking the trophy, it's the only way to say it. Unreal to be here with the team. Unreal to be here under a great coach and in a great squadron. It's the only way to say it.